On April 8th, 2016, this is Socialist number 19, Day 6, Part 1. Michael here at Bridge Hands. Well, wait a second. Part 6, what happened to Part 5 for those of you who are following on the series? Well, we're going to go back and do on overcalls and doubles. Maybe even get a little qubit here and there. But we'll do that in the next episode. Have some other business that needs to be tended to, so I thought let's go ahead and go right in to hopefully be one of your favorite sessions, and that is where we're going to talk about the street smart bridge player. Now remember about the CIA, counts, inferences, and algorithms, awareness. We're going to take a look at some new things back in the 1960s, 1970s actually, with the Dallas Aces playing in the Bermuda Bowl representing America and their 7 deadly sins. We're going to take a look at what it's like to try to find a good partner. And also we're going to take a look at the environmental factors. So you ready? Well, okay, let's go ahead and go. So first off, I guess we're going to take a look at a review of what we played so far in the first 4 sessions. First off, we started with looking at our high card points: 4, 3, 2, 1, ace, king, queen, jack, maybe not so much with 1, unless there are working honors, which we spoke about. We looked at how primary honors were better than secondary honors. Then we got into losing trick count, where we and our partner have a fit, or where we have a semi-self-sustaining suit, where we have a suit quality of 9 is defined by the number of honors and the length in the suit. 4 honors, 5 long, that would be a suit quality of 9. Don't even worry about a partnership fit because the suit is semi-self-sustaining. Shouldn't lose more than 2 losers. Fully self-sustaining suit, a suit quality of 10, should have only 1 loser. And if you have all the toppers, then maybe it'll be 0 losers. And then as the responder, we took a look at the cover cards, where if it goes 1 spade, 2 spades, where they typically will have maybe 2 cover cards, aces and kings, or equivalent with doing some finesses. Makes an easy way to start counting tricks, because bridge is a tricky game, right? And it makes it much easier rather than thinking about 25 high card points or going 33 for a slam. Sometimes we want to just take a look at the number of tricks. High card points are still good. Don't worry about that. Start with that. But we then can go on and do some more sophisticated bidding, especially when we're looking at these higher level auctions. And then we took a look at the next lesson, which is looking and listening. We realized beyond these 13 pasteboards, these cards that we have in our hand, where we want to be listening is what's going around the table. Our partner for sure, but the opponents too. What's been bid and what's not been bid. And then taking a look and looking to see what's going on when the plays are being made. Maybe somebody doesn't follow suit and they play the same color when they're out of trump. Those types of things, as well as the inferences, mannerisms that our opponents will do. We're not supposed to do that for our partner, but we want to be awareness. We want not only awareness of ourselves, adjusting our cards, those types of things, but also seeing what's going on around the rest of the table. How do people perceive us? The inferences from the lead then, when it leads from bottom of something or top of nothing, or maybe a sequence lead. So also when we take a look at the leads, we might be thinking about, well, if there's 25 points between our opponents, then we might be thinking about doing some of the CIA, the counts, the inferences, and seeing what the algorithms are based upon there. Then we got into preempts for fun and profit, and we hopefully instilled in you why it's better to have sound preempts in first or second seat. Third seat, your partner's a passed hand. If you're a frisky bidder, more power to you if that's your style. But we want to be a reliable partner, so when we make a preempt, has 2 of the top 3 honors, or at least 3 of the top 5, have some good values and not a lot of honors in the side suits, or a 4-card side suit in first and second seat. Those types of things we spoke about. Okay? And then we're talked about overcalls and doubles coming up to a bridge theater soon near you, and we have it already in hand, but we'll go ahead and make it on our next session coming up in a couple weeks. So that means we are going to go to the street smart bridge player, and in so doing, I guess the first question might be is, what is a street smart bridge player? Do you have any thoughts on that? Well, I guess it's someone who's savvy, isn't it? So they're, if you will, kind of worldly. It doesn't mean they have just experience, but that's good. But some people, you might say, well, they have more common sense, or they're feeling synchronicity with what's going on around the table. They're present at the moment. those sorts of things is where they're not going to easily be taken by some shrewd opponents, right? That's some of the dark side of it. But no, normally is we're comfortable, we're in focus, and we're very attentive. How about you? Are you a street smart bridge player? Well, maybe in some ways you are. I hope these lessons have been helping you, and we all are in the journey, right, at various things. But as we get our confidence, we realize that we do have some areas we have for growth. That's part of being aware, self-aware, but have some things where we're okay with ourselves and we have some solid foundations. When is it a forcing bid? What is a good solid lead? What are the inferences based upon the bids on the opponents and what our partners led in the lines of play? We should start to get where we get a little more comfortable with that, and that's a good part to being on the road to successful. And then thinking about what are your strengths, and rather than the weaknesses, what are the areas that we wish to grow? The SWOT, the strengths, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. Think about those and think about how you might develop yourself. Yes, go ahead and capitalize on your strength, but some of the areas you're weaker, well, being a good defender takes a while. A lot of people just want to learn a lot of conventions, but we defend half the time, and we make an opening lead 25% of the time, right? So think about where you get the biggest bang for your buck when you're playing at the table. Well, okay. Now we talked about in previous lessons being self-aware. How does our partner come across to us? Do we make bids? Are they solid? Are they understandable? Same with the leads. Can we give our partner as much information as possible without not giving more information to the opponents? Being a good partner. Sometimes maybe the opponents have 25 points and we've got 14. Our partner can have at best a jack in their hand. So we can't worry too much about that situation. But if we've got, goes 1 no trump, 2 no trump, 3 no trump, we know they just barely made it. They have 25 points and we have 1 point. Now we know our partner has 14. And we need to think, how can we go ahead and get rid of what little we have and work towards our partner's hand rather than thinking we're going to promote a suit for ourselves. We can't because we have no points. Those are the types of things about being self-aware and situationally aware. Think about what's happening with the opponents. Are they taking a lot of time? Are they tanking, taking a lot of extra time on a bid? What might that mean? When they went to 3 no trump or 6 no trump, did they avoid a suit? What might that mean? If they didn't bid Stamen, then no 4-card majors if it's open with a no trump, or if the opponents didn't bid Blackwood but went to slam, well, maybe one of them has a void. And if we've got ace 5 times in a suit, we may not want to play the ace or it might get roughed. Things of that nature. Okay, counting, inferences, and the algorithms. Well, yes. When we're opposite a no trump contract, we want to give our count signals to our partner, as well as thinking about the distribution of a suit. Suits oftentimes are 5 and 3 by you and your partner, especially in a major. The opponents are typically 3 and 2 in the suit. We'll get into that in a little bit. Counting the points. You know, if they stopped at 3 no trump, they weren't interested in slam, so they have probably less than 30 points. Start to think about where might the points be around the table. Okay, next up. On algorithms, I guess we should say is that our sequence leads, you know, which might be top of a connected or broken sequence where the first 2 honors are touching and then it's missing 1. So king, queen, 10, if not king, queen, jack. Sequences such as that. Or maybe it's just top of nothing or next to top of nothing. Might not want to do it in a low-level contract, though, because you might lead off with a 10. That might have been one to set them in a 1 no trump contract. Every trick counts, doesn't it? Okay, we're going to get into the environmental factors, what the top 10 are that I've espoused on the encyclopedia. And we'll get into those, learn a little couple new things we maybe haven't seen so far. The 7 deadly sins from the Dallas Aces, and that is where they realize is to be good international competitors playing in the Bermuda Bowl against the winning team over in particularly the Italians, is I needed to critique, to have some kind of a feedback loop, and we need that too if we're going to be in the road to improvement, not worrying too much about our ego, but how can we go ahead and have sound agreements with our partner and be on an ever-increasing road to success. I have some others all coming up too. We're going to talk about laws, and we're going to talk about how to be and find a good partner. So stay tuned. That's coming in this session too. Okay, so self and situational awareness. we want to look and listen, as we talked about, be aware of something other than just our cards. And how about the partner and the opponents? What's going on with them? And certainly, a lot of auctions these days, people like to compete. So if they are competing or not, what does that mean when they have an overcall, or when they give a double, or when they put a Q bid in? And then we talked about losing trick count, the cover cards, the suit quality. Ego is a big part of the game also. We like to think that we're all logical players, we're not emotional beings, but we know our subconscious is always working us. At all of these moments, we're making assessments on each other right now. Well, maybe you more for me than me for you, but the point is that egos come in at a table, and we have to be aware that emotions can run high, as we'll speak about more. How we communicate or lack therein. Hopefully, as we say, we communicate better to our partner than to the opponents, but information is going there. When we make a sequence lead, well, the opponents get that information too, don't they, if they're paying attention? And they should, as we should when they do it to us as well. What about the tells? You know, those unwanted hesitations, pauses, gestures, mannerisms, maybe a flicker of a card before you play it. Start to go from one part of your hand and go to another, which we don't want to do. But we are humans, and sometimes we don't always play in good tempo, and we have a lot of other, shall we call them habits that we have? Yes. And then to chest our cards. Yeah, we don't want to be where we have our cards facing open to our left-hand opponent if we're right-handed. Typically, they're the ones more likely to see them. Not supposed to look at them, but hey, if they showed and you saw it, then, well, what can you say? They showed you their cards. Or as Oswald Jacoby one time in his elder years, somebody said, well, Ozzy, you're showing your cards. And he says, well, you might as well look, everybody else does. No, we don't want to do that. So if you keep your cards behind the table surface, one, if you drop one, it won't hit the table. You won't get a penalty that way. But more importantly, if you keep your cards on the table, behind it, then it's very unlikely that an opponent will be able to see them. And as one of our local Grand Life Masters had said one time, chest your cards, especially if you're playing against a better opponent. That may not be true, but people that are very competitive like to win, and sometimes, well, if an opponent shows them, they do look. So don't do that. Okay, we want to concentrate, we want to focus, and we want to be able to make deductions. Those are all pretty important of being at the table. As Bob Hammond would say, be at the table. And we'll speak about some other factors, different dimensions on how to look at this, but concentration is quite important, and to have focus on what we should be doing, not something else, as we'll speak about in a moment. Okay, then next, we want to stay free from distractions. There's always distractions. It could be we're thinking about something in the past or the future. We'll get into that more. But distractions could be coming from around the table, something has got our attention. Maybe something we see, something we hear, or something that we're just thinking about where we're not in the now. Fatigue certainly is a big piece of it there. And then, as Frank Stewart said in his book, Becoming an Expert, sometimes we lose tricks because we get fixated on one part of a hand. Maybe we're thinking about high card points and we lost the count, or we don't remember what the opening lead was. There is a lot to remember, but as we start chunking more, that is where we start seeing patterns and things, it's easy for us to remember certain things that are going on. You just can quickly think about something else. It's just like when we're typing or riding the bike. We don't have to think about it. It just happens. So practice will help you improve in that. And then living in the now, as Eckhart Tolle would say, is that being in the current moment rather than in the past or in the future is very advantageous for us to be at the table. And we need to sometimes not get so much where our emotions are in there and we're thinking about, oh, what happened on the last trick, or what happened on the last hand? Why did my partner say that? Or the opponents make some kind of a retort. Or what will happen on the next hand, or tomorrow if I do such and so with my partner. If you're not in the current moment, that's not a good place to be. Now, yes, you do want to be situationally aware, but there is a time and a place for that. Once again, Bob Hammond, when he was playing an international Bermuda Bowl, if he would have a partner that sometimes there was something that kind of surprised him about a bid or a line of play. If it wasn't systemic, in other words, if they had a misunderstanding, that he would speak about after the end of the day. But if it was one where partner didn't make good judgment, he would wait till after the entire tournament before he'd speak about them. Not after the hand, not at the end of the day, but he felt that it would be not good for the partnership to kind of make judgments, I guess, and then have them thinking about judgments rather than being at the table. So I thought that was very remarkable for somebody who's playing international competition. Accept your best result. As S.J. Simmons said, why you're unlucky at bridge is sometimes we outthink ourselves. You're the unlucky expert, as he talked about. And that is, you should accept your best result with your partner, not the best result possible. You won't always get that best result possible. Sometimes we have to be pragmatic. Yes, optimistic is fine. It's good to have the X factors we'll speak about in a little bit, but don't push your luck too far. You can't make the perfect bid and perfect play every time, or expect that of your partner. Well, okay, let's go ahead and head for the table and play a couple hands. Now, normally, I know we'd like to start off by doing some bidding games and slams, but we defend half of the time. So we're going to have a couple hands. We're going to take a look at different types of defense that might be required in different scenarios. So remember, look and listen to the bidding, okay? South we'll take a look at later, but they're going to start with one spade. We over here in the west hand, we have a 5-4-2-2, ace, doubleton in diamonds, king, jack, 10, 9, nice, 5 times in clubs, 4 spades, and 10 doubleton in hearts. So we will pass. Okay, over to the north hand. Well, it looks like they've got a 4-3-3, 4 clubs, 8 running, and hearts, queen, jack, 9, sequence suit, nice. In diamonds, connected honors, king, queen 3 times. And in spades, our partner suit, jack 3 times. So 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 for the spade is 9. We certainly count jacks in our partner suit. So we'll go sign off in 2 spades. Over to the east, it is a 6-4-2-1, king, 6 times in hearts, clubs, ace doubleton, 4 diamonds, and a singleton spade. So we will pass. You will not come in at 3 hearts. In fact, in first seat, would you want to open this 2 hearts? I hope not. It's king and out, right? Maybe in third seat, if you're non-vulnerable, sporty bid, go 2 hearts. But no, we don't have 2 of the top 3 honors, and this would not be a good one to come in at if we were in first or second seat. Okay, back to south. South goes 3 diamonds. We'll speak about that later. Back to north. North says, well, I've got some help in the diamond suit. If they're looking for help suit game try, the partner knows I only have 2 cover cards. Remember, we spoke about 2 cover cards, 1 spade, 2 spades. We're looking like we can provide 2 tricks. Our partner apparently is saying they have 6 losers. Can we make it down to 5 losers by giving an extra winner? Yes, we can. We like our diamonds, so we're going to go 4 spades, and the auction passes out. So the question I have for you, based upon that bidding, is what would you lead over here? Well, what do we know? We know that they have maybe 25 points, 24 points. They're pushing to get it. We have 6 to 9 points over here, don't we, in the north hand? And we think we have 2 cover cards is what they're having. Over here in the south, it looks like they're going to have a 6 losing trick count when they're doing the help suit game try. And they say that they have the diamond suit there that they need help in. So it sounds like we should maybe make a somewhat aggressive lead. So what would our aggressive lead be here in this scenario? Well, you could go ace and then another if you think that it's going to be where you're going to get an immediate ruff. Doesn't happen that often, but your partner could have the king of diamonds. But wait, the opponent's bid diamonds. No, forget that idea. Your partner's got some points, though, because how many do we have? We have 4, and another 3 is 7 points. So our partner should have, taking the 40 points in the deck, we've got 7. That leaves 33. They maybe have 25-ish. So our partner's got about 6, 7 points somewhere, we hope, right? So we got to try to find, hopefully it's a primary honor, an ace or a king. That's our hope. So we might as well go ahead and lead our suit where we've got king, jack, 10, and we normally then lead the interior sequence when we have a broken. If we had King Queen 10, we would lead the king. But when we've got King Jack 10, then we would lead the other. So okay, so the opening lead is the Jack of clubs. Hey, look at that. Our partner's got the ace. And South, good on you. You played the queen, making it look like a singleton. You were going to lose it anyway, so you want to try to encourage them to switch to another suit. And you don't want to switch to another suit. You want to try to do that. You see your king here, and you think, well, why would we want to switch to another suit? We have the right to know what our partner's points are too, don't we? Once again, if they have barely 25 and we've got 7, our partner's got about 7 or 8 themselves. Okay, so we come back with the club. Hopefully it was a doubleton, and yes, it was. They were just playing a little fake out on us there, and thank goodness we came back in a club, because if you would have came back in a diamond or a heart, those are all loser plays. So that was smart for South to do the little false card there, and it didn't work this time because we went ahead and followed through with our plan. And at that, we got 2 tricks. Okay, and from there, we go ahead and play a club. Our partner roughs. It gets over rough. No surprise there. We knew that it was 5-4-2-2. So they play the ace. They do with a diamond to our ace of diamonds. We're always going to get that trick. And the king, they rough in. They play another spade. They get their diamond. We rough a spade and let them have that one, but we have our 4 tricks. So they are down 1. Well, how'd that happen to them? Okay, let's take a look now from the declarer's perspective. They have ace, king, queen, 10, 9, beautiful suit. Jack 10, 9, 8 in diamonds. Queen doubleton clubs and ace doubleton hearts. So 4, 7, 8, 9. One distribution for sure is 10. 11, the jack of diamonds running, 11. Another 4 gets us up to 15 for the ace of hearts, and another 2 for the queen doubleton of clubs, we hope. Well, it turns out it didn't work, did it? But around a 15-point hand. Not one you'd want to open one no trump with a 5-4-2-2, and you got all these honors in spades. So start 1 spade. Partner goes 2 spades, fine. Now you have a suit fit. Now we can use our losing trick count, right? We have a partnership fit. So we have 3 losers in diamonds. We have 2 losers in clubs, 1 loser in heart, and no losers in spades. So we did have a 6 losing trick count, didn't we? So yeah, we would want to find a help suit, and 3 diamonds might be good. So 1 spade and coming back in 3 diamonds. Clearly we need help here in the diamond suit. If instead you went with a, what would be another bid you might possibly made? How about if you went to no trump? Would that work? Well, you could use some help in clubs or the diamonds, or even not so much the hearts, but I think 3 diamonds is a better rebid, don't you? 2 no trumps is, not that I want to play no trump, but where would you like to go, partner? So in play of the hand, yeah, you need to lead this club suit. If you don't lead the club suit, all is lost. So you must listen to the auction, and you might have thinking, well, I know that Michael says not to lead from doubleton suits. Maybe it'll work this time. Well, if you had maybe didn't have this king or jack and your partner had a lot more points, it might work. It's still, I think, a risky play. You normally promote their suit. But when they specifically bid diamonds, no, do not lead your ace doubleton of diamonds. Instead, lead from your strong suit. And there's one even more important part. Did you catch it? Yeah, you've got 4 spades. So you know that there's 5 or so, could be more, but ostensibly it's 5 since I didn't rebid 3 spades. And we know that there should be 3 here. And we've got 4. That leaves your partner 1-0 in the suit. So when we make this forcing type of a lead is ultimately when we can start playing cards in that suit. And if your partner's got a queen or an ace, remember they got 6, 7 points, then now is that they're going to have to start doing some roughing. And if it's not roughing in the dummy, but it's in the long hand, then yes, we can now go ahead and get some tricks, even with these little spades. All right, okay, let's try another hand. Okay, so far so good. Let's go ahead and go on to hand number 2, and South is going to start with 1 heart. We have a 4-4-3-2, ace, jack 4 times in spades, king, jack 4 times in diamonds, 3 clubs, 2 hearts, a pass. Over to the north hand, nice hand here. Look at that clubs, ace, king, queen, 5 times. It may be the pauper suit, but hey, 9 points plus 1 distribution is good. And then in spades, 3 times to the queen, good. That's 11, 1 distribution, 12. And then king doubleton, king 10 that is, our partner's heart suit. So we have game values. We'll just go ahead and bid 2 clubs for now since we only have 2 hearts. Now, if you're playing standard American and you as the opponents have the right to know what their methods are, then this would be 10 plus. If it's the 2/1 system, where when you make a 2-level bid after a 1 level and a new suit, this would show 12, maybe 13 plus. Okay, so you know that they've got a game if they bid a 2/1 bid. Into the east hand, it's a 4-3-3, ace 3 times in diamonds, little else it says for sure, pass. Back to south, what do you want to rebid with a 6-bagger in the heart suit? Yeah, 2 hearts. And even in standard American, this should be a forcing bid. Some of you may not realize that, but we're still not to 2 no trump. You've got 10 points or more and 12 points or more. You can make a 2 no trump contract with 23 points, so don't feel that even though it's a suit rebid, it's a pass-out situation. 2/1 system, it's definitely game forcing when we get to 2/1, but even if it's standard American, you are promising 1 rebid unless your partner rebid 2 no trump, and then you can stop. Okay, so after 2 hearts, what's your next bid? Well, yeah, 4 hearts. You've got a doubleton if your partner's got 6, and hey, you've got 2 honors after all. This isn't chopped liver, so yeah, you'll go to 4 hearts. And 4 hearts it is. So the opening lead over by the west hand, what do we want to lead? Well, we don't want to lead away from an unprotected ace, that's for sure. Your partner might have a king, but then they could have a singleton king themselves, so that's not good. And besides, it might be a king of spades over here, and your partner might have a queen 10 or something like that. So you want to catch that king. So not going to lead that suit. How about trump? Sometimes that's a fairly passive lead. It's not an active lead, but we'll get some where you might get an opportunity to in the next lesson. Clubs, maybe? Well, wait a second. Remember the 2 club bid here? No, we don't want to lead the club suit. So that only leaves the diamond suit, doesn't it? But could our partner have any points? Well, did you listen to the auction? 1 heart, 2 clubs, 10 points or more. 2 hearts, now promising 6 of them. 4 hearts. Okay, they have 2 plus hearts. So how many points do they have between them? We don't know. Well, we know we've got 25 plus, right? Do you think they have over 30? Well, if they did, I think they might explore slam, don't you? Maybe some of your opponents might not, but a lot of people, when you got 30 points or more, let's see if we've got a slam in hand. Start doing some exploration. So I don't think they have more than 30 points. So I'm going to modify that, and we're going to say that it's maybe 25 to what? 25 to maybe 30? 29, something like that. They have 31. I think they're going to explore for slam. So we have for our points 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I expect my partner could have 3 or 4 points. Since they're not exploring, they don't have over 30, I don't think. Even if our partner just has a queen of diamonds, so even if our partner just has a queen of diamonds, that would be helpful, wouldn't it? That's all we need. So yeah, that's going to be the suit we're going to lead. So if we take a look at it, if we lead a heart, we fail. If we lead a club, we fail. If we lead a diamond, and we're not going to lead away from unprotected ace, works this time, but oftentimes it won't. So we lead the diamond, and there's 3 in the dummy. They come back with a high from present count, high-low, to our jack, and then the king, and it was a 4-3-3. Now, I know it only happens 1 in 3, that 36% chance, but it did there. So good. And now we can cash out our ace because our suit isn't that long. We don't worry about it getting rough. Besides, this club suit is very threatening. And let's go back to that on trick 1, or I should say before trick 1. And did you see that? That is How many do we have in the club suit? A tripleton. And that is significant. When the opponents have a 5-card suit, and oftentimes when they go to 2 clubs, it could be 5 or longer. You've got a tripleton. Your partner, if they've got a tripleton, they're going to get all the suits. They are going to, remember we talked about? They are going to promote. And promotion is a good thing. It's better when we can do it than when they do it, right? So in this hand, what we want to do is we want to make a fairly active lead. We need to lead away from our king, jack 4 times. Hope our partner's got a queen or an ace, because our partner we're expecting to have the better part of 3 to 4 points since they didn't investigate slam. And we only had 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we think that there's some points that partner can have somewhere in the hand. If we're lucky, it's in our suit. If not, well, they probably had their auction anyway, going to make it, because this club suit is going to give them some extra tricks once they pull trump. Okay, good job. Well, okay, bridge friends, I hope you enjoyed the show so far, but wait, there is more in sections 2, 3, and I believe we're going to have a section 4 also. So first, a word from our sponsor, Bridge Hands. Yeah, I hope you like these videos. We have hundreds of hours over at the bridgehands.com website. So we have our Polling You series, which we did for the first couple years. Then we went off to the social and the advanced, this being in the social series. And we have the Hands of the Week, which is watching a lot of people play at different tables online and comparing and contrasting their good, the bad, and the ugh plays as well. So for 3 months, you can get a premium membership. If you go all the way, then you can also see those Hands of the Week series. So you know what to do next. Come on over to Bridge Hands and sign up for a free membership if you haven't already. See Part 2, and to go all the way with Part 3, 4, and those other hundreds of hours of videos. So I hope you enjoyed the show so far. Let's go ahead and wrap this one up, and we'll see you on the flip side over on Part 2, where we have more on environmental factors. We're going to be taking a look at the 7 deadly sins. We're going to take a look at being a good partner and finding a good partner, looking at the laws, and more. See you on the flip side. Bye for now.